the fear factor in human life. Okay. Arachnophobia. Okay. This phobia inherited. Now, for example, when a baby, you in an experiment, you have a baby crawling on the floor. You have a glass floor, and then there's in the middle part there's depth. Okay, the baby or animal will stop.
It's called the visual cliff, Dr. Wong. The visual cliff is what I remember from my undergrad course.
Yeah, they will stop. Even animals do not stop because they are afraid of falling. They're instinctive, and fear of the dark. Now, the best thing tends to happen in darkness. But more importantly, when you're in the dark, you can't see anything, you lose control. You lose the sense of control, right? You don't know what's happening, right? So these are instinctive fear of spider or insects. That must be from our ancestors, because some insects can be very dangerous. They're more fatal than big animals. Big animals can see them, but insects can't see them, right? So they can be more dangerous. Here's the interesting thing. Both our fears are conditioned. Do you remember the Pavlovian dog? Do you remember poor Albert? Poor Albert said Dr. Watson experiment, but right now they were not allowed that anymore. So they put a white rat in front of him. He was killed as a white animal, fur animal. And then they paired this rat with bang. So the kid was startled, okay? Then they showed this loud noise, okay? The kid startled. Then they pair loud noise with the rat. So gradually, the innocent white rat becomes scary. The sad part is that when this poor Albert grew up, he even afraid of Santa Claus, even afraid of mother's fur coat. The fear generates. Many of our fears are conditional fear. They don't reside in our memory, but they are coded differently. Conditioning, this is classical conditioning, right? You can condition a cell, a muscle. They can occur without your consciousness, without your memory. So we have all kinds of fear that we pick up in childhood. We don't know where they come from. They're conditioned. So when you identify them, to find cure, but we react. We don't know why we react that way. Fear of school, fear of separation, fear of losing, all kinds of fears. We pick up in childhood. They are conditioned in the old brain, in the limbic system. Then it goes to the forebrain. Okay? Another source of fear is intimidation. And people always use intimidation tactic to compel your obedience. Okay? So this is one way, size, or people's wealth, or their position. Often when we are in front of people with high prestige, automatically we feel inferior, right? So that feeling can hinder your performance because you lose sense of security, you lose sense of confidence because you're present of someone much better, right? So intimidation is a source of fear. And a lot of fear has to do with existential anxiety, okay? Right now, in the 20th century, there's too much information, too much change, and we do not know whether we can keep up with it, okay? There are many people retire in their 50s. Do you know why? Because they don't think they can keep up. They always have to learn new things, new computer model, new way of doing things. Things happen too fast. There are too many changes, okay? And also young people learn about global warming or climate change. They worry about our planet might be not habitable in 20 years. They worry about that. And then, see, they worry many people is income inequality. The 1% of people getting richer and richer. The vast majority getting poorer and poorer. And our children, many people's children can't afford to buy a house, okay? So that's income. And fear of failure and fear of robots take over our jobs, okay? And one big thing is disintegration of community. In the old days, we have neighborhood, we have school, we have church, we have family. Now so many families are broken homes, and churches are closing doors. So the society doesn't provide people, doesn't give people a sense of belonging. Okay? If we try to create a sense of community, you meet up, people come and go. So it's difficult to develop a sense of community, okay? Of course. And the problem is people live longer. Doing what? What you said earlier, right? People live, now people live until 80 and 90s. They retire at 60. Now what do you do with themselves? And one client, he came to see me, he bored to death. Every day watching TV, sitting there, never do. They don't have purpose to engage them. They don't have anything meaningful to pursue. Just eat and play, entertainment. So that's boring life, right? So how can we mobilize the retirees to make use of their experience, their talents, and to serve society? So that's one challenge, right? And what are your 10 top fears? Is that yours? What's your top fear?
Years. Yeah.
For me, it's the fear of not being able to complete my book before I die.
Or what?
Yeah, because I'm afraid of dying, not afraid of dying, but I'm afraid of dying before I complete my book.
Mm.
Now, the two most common fears are, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Even now, with so many accomplishments, I still feel that I'm not good enough. Why? Because there are always some people smarter than you are, right? When compared with other people, you always feel that you're not good enough. This feeling of feeling not good enough creates anxiety and depression. It's not a good feeling. And then the common fear is that nobody will love me. So I'm lucky that my wife loves me, even though I have my defects, okay? So the fear of not being loved is one source of anxiety, okay? The only thing to have to fear is fear itself, because it's fear that prevents you from failure to success. So there's a gap, right? How do you jump from here to there? Kierkegaard talked about a leap of faith, right?
Mm.
You need a leap of faith. For entrepreneur, for anybody start life, they require faith, right? You don't know whether you'll be successful or not. If you don't have faith, then you won't have courage. You have faith in your ability, you have faith in help from above, you have faith that other people will help you. It takes faith from here to here. Everything you ever want is on the other side of fear. You didn't get what you want, you know why? Because fear prevents you. Now I remember in the 80s, when I tried to help poor people to resettle. It's amazing, those refugees there, they're not afraid of trying even the language handicap. They're not afraid of trying anything. They're hardworking, they're not afraid of rejection or failure. That's why most of them are very successful. On the other hand, You know, being a refugee is being very vulnerable because you lose a connection with your whole environment. You lost your contact with support. So being a refugee is a very vulnerable position, right? But they're able to adapt and to do well because they're not afraid, right? And to escape is also take courage.